a partidei. Delgado acolo este. Va fi corner, dragi ascultători.
The great things about it is that it came to me through its writer, who's also a fan of the channel. Steve Lewis Arnold, or Steve Louis Arnold, if you're French or a Francophile, is a Patreon subscriber and fan of the channel, and he came to me last year and said he'd written this cop drama or procedural, and would I be interested in looking at it? And I sort of thought, yeah, had a look at it, was blown away by the writing. Then I met the producer. Then it turned out that this was a sort of a serious thing. And anyway, we've not really spoken about it because obviously I didn't know, what the angle of attack was. It's going through various stages at the moment with broadcasters. It's cast, more or less. It's got a director. So it's slowly getting there. I don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to jinx anything, and also I'm not sure how much I should make known, but it is slowly trundling along. It's being pitched and things are happening. Anyway, the point of this video is to say that one of the things we did to try and generate a little buzz, do something with, was do some little prologue. Steve's initially, not my idea at all. Steve came up with this. He wrote some sort of prologue radio play scripts for me to do, because we just thought, well, it's something that can be done quite easily from home, and we can see what happens with them. So, long story short, Steve, we did a couple of episodes. Steve's edited one together that he then sent off to the BBC to see if he could get featured on the radio, and eventually Radio Essex played it and did an interview with him, which we're going to play for you now. So we thought it'd be really great to stick it on the channel and see what you guys thought, because obviously this is somewhere, dusty and covered in spiderwebs that it is. This community, you guys have always been incredible in supporting us as filmmakers, and our efforts with Type Till You Bleed and that kind of stuff. So we are now at a stage with this where we just want to sort of put these out there, see what happens. There's no pressure on them to really do anything. We've got producers here who are pitching to various broadcasters. We just need to get a broadcaster on board and we'll be off, basically. I mean, it's very close. So we just thought it'd be something nice to share with you. We're also contemplating shooting something, maybe a proof of concept or something like that, but obviously that requires budget and all sorts of things. Anyway, without further ado, let me introduce you to our I'll play for you first Steve's interview on BBC Radio Essex, in which he talks about the project and his ideas for it and who he is, so you'll get to hear a bit about him, and we'll play you the episode and see what you think. So this is first off, this is Steve Lewis Arnold talking about his incredible project that he's written called Broken Lines. Take it away, Steve.
Here on BBC Upload, it's time for our final uploader of the show. It's Stephen Louis Arnold, who sent in a short radio drama about a police officer discovering that he may have cancer during his shift. So we're going to have a little listen to a little piece of it, and then you can seek it out and we'll find out exactly where when I spoke to Stephen. But here's a little part of Lump.
A lump? Never given that word much thought before a few hours ago. I remember the lump I had in my throat during my first nick.
You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence.
That was a little teaser there of the radio drama Lump, and it was created by Stephen Lewis Arnold, who joins me now. Stephen, how are you?
I'm not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, great, thank you. Thanks for uploading. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Do you write radio dramas a lot? Is this your first one?
This is my first one. I tend to write like television scripts, things like that. And the radio drama is based off one of those. So it's like a little prologue to a series we're working on.
Brilliant. And do you find there's a does radio offer you something different to TV? What do you like about that? Why did you sort of say you're going to go into that?
Well, we're trying to find a home for the TV series, to be honest, with like a network, something like that. And I've never been one to kind of just sit on my laurels and let things happen, like let producers take it out, etc. So I thought, well, what's something I can make myself and put out into the world without needing a ton of help and a ton of money? And fortunately, the lead actor was kind enough to kind of sit down in his own time and lend his voice to the project, and we kind of just got to kind of flesh the character out a little bit more and have a bit of fun with it.
Brilliant. It's nice to find creatives that are going to give more of the time to you if you're making something.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And he's well, for him it's brilliant because he just gets to explore the character a little bit more before he actually does it in front of the camera.
Yeah. And where did the idea come from?
It comes from like combination of my time in the police, stories that people have told me, things I've gone through as well as trying to find something that I think an audience will find entertaining and try to find a new side of policing that maybe people haven't seen before.
And you said you worked in the police force there. That, like you said, you must get a lot of stories. What was the transition from being in the police to becoming a creative?
So, in a backwards round way, I was kind of a creative first. I went to university, studied screenwriting, film production. But then after leaving uni, I ended up going into the police, loving my time there. But then through certain events with like family members, like bereavements, things like that, I came out of it to take a break. And then during that break, I started writing again as a kind of way to get things off my chest, kind of get, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of a bit therapeutic side of things. And then
cathartic, can't it?
Yeah, definitely. And then people kind of reading my work and kind of saying like, you should actually give this another go. So I thought, why not? Give it a crack.
Yeah, and here we are. So you're looking to try and get investment to create a film. Is it going to be like do you see how many episodes it's going to be?
It's all written. So we've got 4 episodes already written. We've got a cast together. I've got an amazing cast, to be honest. But we're just waiting to kind of find a network to go, yeah, let's make it. Let's greenlight it. Well,
let's pinpoint someone in the direction where they can hear more of the piece then.
Yeah, we're on Twitter or X, whatever it's called now. All one word, Broken Lines 999.
Broken Lines.
And you'll find. Sorry, we'll upload an episode every 2 weeks, and there's going to be 5 episodes of this radio drama.
That's great. And Stephen, have you got anything else that you're working on in the background?
No, just getting this plugging away. But the good thing about this radio stuff is we can kind of make it in our own time. Doesn't really cost a lot to do, and there's always a platform for it.
There certainly is. And have you got your own sort of YouTube channel or maybe a website that you can point people towards?
Not yet. It'll all be going on that same Twitter handle, and then we'll build from there.
Brilliant, Stephen. Thank you so much for uploading, and I wish you all the best of luck with the radio drama and then turning it onto TV. Because what I've heard of it, I'm really looking forward to listening to more.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Hopefully everyone else will like it.
Take care. That was Stephen Lewis Arnold there, who made the transition from a police officer to becoming a creative. Maybe you've got a similar sort of, maybe you were doing one sort of career and then went, you know what, I'm going to try.
A lump. Never given that word much thought before a few hours ago. I remember the lump I had in my throat during my first nick.
You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence.
That was as far as I got with a caution before the fella chinned me. He was a bit of a lump, come to think of it. Not like the lad stood before me. A short, scrawny streak of piss is how I'd describe him, but I'll word it differently in my arrest statement. Even though I'm a DI, I like to get out of the office and help response out. Take some calls. Reminds me why I joined the police in the first place. It also reminds me why I wanted to get off response in the first place.
Right, sir, would you mind telling me what happened?
I know full well what happened. His reddening knuckles are a good indicator. I need to Google if reddening's a word before I put it in my statement. I think it is. Joys of a wanky education system. Is he still droning on? See, in my early days, I would have just nicked him, given the state his missus was in when she opened the door. Now, though, I like to let them talk for a bit. What's the expression? Give him enough rope and all that. The smug prat looks like he actually believes his own lies. I wonder why he hit her. Not implying she deserved it or anything. There ain't no reason on this earth to bash a woman. Such a sexist opinion, I know. Now he's smiling. Smiling. His wife, in the next room with one of my PCs with her lip busted open, her jaw bruised and a lump forming the size of a golf ball on her temple. And this turd is smiling at me. Back to that word again. Lump. The suspect was escorted to the van without issue. Well, except for calling me names not fit for publications. Pretty standard, to be honest. Water off an emotionally stunted duck's back. It's when they get in the cage, it's when they kick off, and this was no different. Hopefully you won't.
You want to roll around then, do ya? Come on then. That's what I bloody thought. Prat. Control, cell space for 1 adult male, arrest for GBH, ETA on that ambulance.
Not my most professional moment, or proudest, truth be told. I wanted him to jump from the cage and try his luck. Not some hard case or something, and 9 times out of 10 I want my suspect placid. Less work for me that way. See, contrary to popular belief, us coppers can't just go around whacking someone with our truncheons with reckless impunity. Gone are those days, and not just because we don't have truncheons no more. They're gone as my uniformed predecessors got a little bit reckless, to say the least. And because of said predecessors, if I so much as raise my hand or my baton whilst talking to a suspect, that is considered the use of force. I have to fill out an online form and then write a detailed use of force statement going over why I use force, what I hope to achieve, and what police power or law justified my action. I only did it because I'm lazy. And putting my hands in my pockets is considered an officer safety risk.
Well, can you tell them to get a wriggle on, please, Control?
It's a ball ache, but an understandable one given what coppers used to get up to. But every so often you meet a particular kind of criminal that you would love nothing more than to give a little dig to.
What custody we going to? 2 8 hours there. Fine.
See, unlike what most police shows tell you, we don't transport prisoners in the back of police cars for all the reasons you've seen play out in those wanky cop dramas. Nah, in real life we transport them in police vans. They get put in a nice, clean-ish white steel cage with fiberglass coating. At least I think it's fiberglass anyway, that's how it works. So after an arrest, you end up sat across from your suspect as they attempt to intimidate you by pressing their face to the glass and staring at you. Truth be told, I am terrified right now, but not because of that prat glaring at me. No. It's because of that lump I found in the shower before work.